Good evening. Tonight we're looking at a hopeful shift. American consumer confidence saw a notable rise in May. The Conference Board's index jumped to 98 points. This was a significant increase from April's 85.7. That April figure was a two-year low, a real point of concern. This rebound in May was broad. It was seen across all age groups, and it included people from all income levels. This suggests a widespread, albeit cautious, return of optimism. Many are wondering what sparked this change. The main reason for this boost appears clear. It's largely due to reduced anxiety over tariffs. President Trump's tariff policies have been a major focus. The constant talk of new taxes on imported goods caused worry, but in May, that anxiety seemed to lessen. This provided a sense of relief for many households. People felt a bit less pressure. They saw a potential pause in rising prices. This easing of trade tensions played a crucial role. A little breathing room can make a big difference. Let's look at the China tariff situation specifically. President Trump had threatened a steep 145% tariff. This was on most goods imported from China. Such a move would have hit consumers hard. Then, an agreement was reached for a 90-day pause. This pause allows for more negotiations. It was a key moment, offering a temporary reprieve. Stephanie Gichard, an economist, noted this. She said confidence gained momentum after this May 12th deal. It provided a much-needed break from escalating trade fears. Other international trade news also brought some comfort. The US reached a trade agreement with the United Kingdom. This deal came together in early May. Such positive developments add to a better mood. They signal a potential for more stable trade relations. Consumers saw these as signs of progress. It felt like a collective step back from the brink. This combination of factors helped lift spirits nationwide. It was a welcome change after months of uncertainty. A small dose of good news can go a long way. For months, President Trump's tariff policies created unease. The constant threat of new duties hung in the air. This was especially true for goods from China. This uncertainty had a chilling effect on consumers. We saw consumer sentiment fall steadily. People were understandably bracing for higher prices. The fear was that everyday items would become more expensive. This worry permeated many financial decisions. It was a heavy cloud over the economic outlook. Businesses, too, felt this pressure from potential trade wars. The impact of these tariff threats was significant, even before any new tariffs were fully applied. The simple prospect of them caused widespread concern. Businesses found it hard to plan for the future. Consumers worried about their household budgets. This anxiety often leads to delayed spending. People might put off buying a new car or appliance. This hesitation can slow down the entire economy. The what-if scenario was a powerful negative force. Uncertainty itself became a major economic drag. The 90-day pause in new China tariffs was a big deal. It wasn't a permanent solution, of course, but it offered a crucial breathing space for everyone. It temporarily calmed fears of immediate drastic price hikes. A vast range of consumer goods could have been affected. This pause allowed for a moment of relative stability. Both financial markets and ordinary people reacted positively. It was a sign that dialogue was still possible. This development was a key factor in May's confidence boost. A timeout in trade tensions was warmly welcomed. Then there was the situation with the European Union. President Trump announced a potential 50% tariff. This would apply to imports from the EU. This news came out on Friday, May 23rd. However, this tariff was quickly put on hold. The delay is set until July 9th. This announcement happened over the Memorial Day weekend, so it did not directly impact the May Confidence Survey. That survey had already closed on May 19th, but it shows the ongoing volatile nature of trade talks. Now, let's turn to what people are paying. The latest inflation data offers some perspective. Consumer prices rose 2.3% in March from a year earlier. This was actually a slowdown from February's 2.7% rate. If we exclude food and energy, core prices also eased. They rose 2.6% in March, down from 3% in February. So, there was some moderation in price increases. However, inflation remains a concern for many families. These numbers are watched very closely by economists. They offer clues about the cost of living. Gas prices are always a big factor for household budgets. In May, the average price for a gallon of regular gasoline hovered around $3.17 across the nation. This is notably lower than a year ago, which was $3.59. That's some good news for drivers filling up their tanks. However, prices were up a few pennies from April. so it's a bit of a mixed picture at the pump. Fuel costs can significantly impact consumer spending elsewhere. Even small changes can make a big difference. People notice when gas prices go up or down. What about the job market? It remains fairly strong. US employers added 177,000 jobs in April, and the unemployment rate stayed low, at 4.2%. These are generally positive signs for the economy, yet there's a nuance in how people feel. The Conference Board survey showed something interesting. Consumers' assessments of job availability actually weakened. This happened for the 5th straight month. Fewer people worried about losing their jobs, which is good, but more worried about affording things they need or want. Despite the May rebound in overall confidence, one worry persists. Tariffs are still the biggest concern for many Americans. This came through clearly in write-in responses. People specifically mentioned tariffs as a top issue. The University of Michigan's survey also highlighted this. It found nearly 75% of consumers named tariffs. This was up from 60% in April, a significant jump. This shows that underlying anxiety about trade policy remains. The tariff issue has not gone away. It continues to weigh on people's minds. Looking ahead, what do Americans expect? Short-term expectations for income and business conditions did improve. The Conference Board's measure for this jumped 17.4 points. It reached 72.8 in May, a healthy increase. However, this is still below a level of 80. A reading below 80 can sometimes signal a recession ahead. So, while there's more optimism, there's also caution. On a positive note, fewer people expect a recession soon. The share thinking a recession is likely in the next year declined. This is a welcome shift in sentiment. We also saw a change in people's spending plans. More Americans are now considering making big purchases. This includes buying homes, cars, or planning vacations. This interest in spending increased from April. Notably, there were significant gains in these plans. This happened after the May 12th China tariff pause was announced. It suggests a direct link between trade news and consumer behavior. When people feel more secure, they are more willing to spend. This is a tangible effect of the reduced tariff anxiety. It could provide a boost to various sectors of the economy. However, not all signals are pointing up. A different survey from the University of Michigan shows more concern. Their Consumer Sentiment Index actually fell in May. It dropped to 50.8, a near record low. This data presents a contrasting picture to the Conference Board. It's important to note the timing difference here. Most responses for the Michigan survey were collected earlier. This was before the China tariff pause announcement. That survey also focuses more on household finances and inflation. It highlights that financial stress remains very real for many. So what can we expect in the coming months? Experts advise a degree of caution about this newfound optimism. Robert Frick, an economist, suggests the good mood might be fleeting. He warns that prices could still rise. This would be from existing tariffs already in place. A new inflation fight has just begun, he stated. This means the relief consumers feel now could be temporary. The coming months will be critical for American households. The tariff pause has certainly helped lift spirits, but the path ahead regarding prices and overall confidence remains uncertain.